This week on C Plus News Time, MTV orders 3 comedy pilots, Adult Swim heads to the drive-in, and Eugene Mirman has a very, very, very long LP coming out. I don't know why people like it so long all the time. I like to get in and out, like this. C Plus News Time.
It's C Plus News Time with your host, Chad White.
Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news you didn't know about for the week of September 7th, 2015. This week marked the return of Stephen Colbert to the late night genre and his role in the starring role of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. He did a great job. His first show was on Tuesday, and it had 6.6 million viewers. Of course, it slouched in the second episode, but that's just how TV ratings roll. Stephen did an admirable job, and his band partner man, John Baptiste, his band leader, did a really good job playing. Although I noticed over the episodes I watched this week that John wasn't being used as much as, say, Paul would be used, or as, say, Andy's used, because John's playing double role as the band leader and as well as playing co-host, essentially, to Stephen Colbert. But Stephen Colbert is a big man, and he's not in character this time, but the crowd still treats him like he is in character. And obviously, he's trying to break out of that, and his show is actually trying to be a little bit less gamey, like, say, The Tonight Show, and he's being a little bit more political. He had Jeb Bush on this week, as well as Vice President Joe Biden, and both were terrific interviews. Biden's was really interesting in that he got really personal and deep, and it wasn't as funny as, say, his interview would be on if he went on Kimmel's, or anything like that. But it's still a different show. It's great, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Not to knock anything on tonight's show. Tonight has all the games and all the fun stuff, and then Stephen Colbert is trying to get the political stuff, and Seth Meyers is kind of trying to bring a balance to that stuff. He's the one who really started out with this kind of serious political thing, with bringing in his kind of weekend update sensibilities with that. Kimmel is still great, but he's still an internet kind of guy. He wants to hit all the millennials and the YouTube sensations. And then Conan will always be Conan. He's always standing out among the pack as probably the best out there. And then there's James Corden, who's also doing a pretty admirable job. But again, he's trying to hit the YouTube stuff while everybody else is either doing politics or straight up comedy or games, in Fallon's case. Either way, I really did enjoy Stephen Colbert's return to the late night. It was great, and I look forward to the next 10 years of him doing this. Our first story circles around MTV, and now they're creating 3 new scripted comedies. One's from Nicole Byer, where she plays a young adult who moves back to the suburbs. The second is from Leap Year's Deborah Kaplan and Harry Elfont, and it's about weed dealers with a smoking app. And the third is called Little Darlings, and it's about 2 friends who take justice into their own hands. Here are the descriptions. Nicole Byer's show is yet to be titled, but it does have a synopsis. Byer stars as a young adult who is forced to move in with her sister and 4 kids in the suburbs after causing a fire in her New York apartment. Aunt Nicole will offer her own brand of advice to her sister's kids while trying to get her life back on track. Deborah Kaplan and Harry Elfont's pilot is also untitled, but it does have a synopsis as well. The comedy revolves around weed dealers Paige and Jordan, who see themselves as entrepreneurs. Their dope delivery app is quickly gaining popularity with foodies, celebrities, and the most particular and crucial customers, hipsters. The pilot takes a look at 2 girls living in LA who are desperate to succeed, find romance, and keep their clients happy and high, all with the least amount of effort possible. And finally, Little Darlings, created by Jennifer Caton Robinson, has its own story. Little Darlings is described as a dark half-hour comedy about 2 unlikely friends taking justice into their own hands and kicking literal ass on their college campus. Jules comes off as a perfect sorority dream girl, but little do her red cup-toting sisters know she's got a completely different agenda come nightfall. Ophelia, your everyday stoner hacker hellion, has officially run out of F's to give, and when she discovers Jules may be the mass vigilante exacting justice on campus, her interest in college life is re-energized. The most important aspect of these 3 shows is that they're all kind of female-driven, either starring 2 girls or being produced by girls. Either way, it's amazing how MTV is now jumping into the female pilot ring. There's a lot of female-driven TV shows out there, from How to Get Away with Murder to Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and they're all doing really well. One day we will get to a point where none of this female-male stuff matters anymore. But until then, we've got to start coming out with better TV shows, better movies, better video games that all deal with this type of stuff while not being overtly super non-sexual. Next up, Adult Swim is going on a tour, but it's not the type of tour that you're accustomed to. No, it won't be music or comedy. It'll be a drive-in tour. Yes, you have to bring your car or bring a blanket, and you'll have to watch a huge screen with a bunch of people out on a park or a lawn somewhere. Adult Swim is going on a drive-in tour this fall, and it's going to be big, stopping in cities like Phoenix, Los Angeles, San Diego, Nashville, and the good old Peach State capital, Atlanta. They're going to be showing specials, unaired pilots, and all the good things that make Adult Swim funny and irreverent. You can read more information about it on the Adult Swim Drive-In website, but they do tell us that there's going to be food trucks, fun, trivia, games, and what's next for Adult Swim. Check it out. See if it's coming to a city near you. And finally, comedian Eugene Mirman is coming out with the longest stand-up album in history. Actually, I don't even know if that's true, but it is a pretty long stand-up album. He's coming out with a 9-volume, 7 LP stand-up set, and it's really strange and it's really different. It seems like it's a great experiment. Of course, there's going to be stand-up on it, but then there's also going to be things like meditation tracks. There's going to be lots and lots of crying. Like there's one LP that's just dedicated to crying. There's also going to be some orgasms and something called Fuckscape. I want to know what that is. The set comes out October 30th, and you can actually pre-order it over at Sub Pop, and there's going to be several versions, including a digital version, a box version, and 2 special limited editions that include either a robe or an armchair. Make sure if you get the armchair that you have enough money for it. It's $1,200. You got that much cash? Go ahead and buy whatever you want. And that's it for C Plus News Time. Why don't you subscribe, like one of our videos, or head to the website. I've reviewed everything that you could ever like the last episode ever of Key and Peele, or the current show review on Comedy Central. You can also follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, like me on Twitter, and tumble with us on Tumblr. Yeah, I know I mixed the Facebook and Twitter things up. Who cares? What are you going to do about it? I know you won't do anything. I love you. Bye.